Today, we're hitting up Pop Century, Art of Animation, and the All-Stars to try all of the new food at the value resorts. We have stuffed croissants, crazy new desserts, entrees, and more. I'm letting you know if any of these new foods are worth checking out. All of the menus at the value resort quick service restaurants just got a fresh update. So I figured I'd travel to the mall and see what's actually good, starting at Pop Century, where we have loaded up on the sweets. The sweets in question include a tiramisu, a chocolate chip cookie sandwich, and this delicious looking peanut butter brownie. I want to dive into this Flower Power tiramisu first, which is a tiramisu mousse on a double chocolate brownie for $5.99. This is obviously perfectly on themed. I love that they kind of shaped it into a flower here. And I'm curious to see how this tiramisu is going to be. It is definitely a mousse. It is very light, but we've got a little bit of our mousse, a little bit of our brownie. I have to say my expectations for this were so low, they were nearly on the ground, but I am so pleasantly surprised. You know, usually these mini desserts that the resorts and the parks try and do just honestly are not that good. This is for sure one of the better ones I've had. The mousse is so light and fluffy, and it almost tastes like coffee ice cream. I feel like coffee ice cream has a very distinct taste, and that's what this tastes like, except in mousse form. I happen to love coffee ice cream, so that is the perfect flavor for me. And then you pair it with that super fudgy brownie on the bottom, a little coffee and chocolate action. It is so good. I honestly think pairing a tiramisu cream with a fudgy brownie is way better than pairing it with the traditional lady fingers. This is excellent. Their signature dessert here at Pop Century is the tie-dye cheesecake, but this is really the one you should be getting. It is so good. The next dessert we're gonna try is the Mickey-shaped peanut butter brownie. This has chocolate chips, Snickers, and peanut M&Ms for $5.99. This is one of the many new foods added that you could find at a couple of different locations. And I'm gonna try and let you know if anything I try today you can find elsewhere. I'll let you know in the description. But I'm excited for this chocolate peanut butter brownie. It certainly sounds very rich. Again, very fudgy. And this chocolate peanut butter combo should be really good. I love that they have peanut M&Ms on here. Again, my expectations for this were very low, and they have once again been met or exceeded. This is a very good brownie. The brownie itself is nice and cakey, but super chocolatey as well. It's a really good brownie on its own. And then you add all of that peanut butter on top. I don't believe there's any peanut butter in the actual brownie. All of the peanut butter is on top, but it's perfectly done. I enjoy chocolate peanut butter desserts, but sometimes there is just way too much peanut butter to where it becomes so overly rich that it's harder for me to enjoy. But this, I feel like there is the perfect amount of peanut butter. Again, those peanut M&Ms on top are so delicious. And then you've got that extra drizzle of peanut butter on there as well. This is really quite good. Again, very impressed. And finally, we have the chocolate chip cookie sandwich, which costs $5.79. This is actually a plant-based dessert here, and you can see we've got some form of plant-based cream kind of sandwich in between the cookies there, and it's super melty because it's been sitting outside for a little bit now, but it honestly looks good. The cookies are good. They're nice and soft baked cookies, and honestly, leaving this out to melt a little was the move. Honestly, those chocolate chips and stuff being melted taste really good. The cream inside is throwing me off just a little bit though. It's not terrible, but it's definitely a bit gritty and grainy. Like you could tell the cream inside there is plant-based, but you can't necessarily tell the cookies are plant-based. So I'd say if you do eat a plant-based diet, this might be good for you to check out. And like I said, you could find this at a couple of other places as well. So you might want to grab this. If there's anyone that's not going to enjoy a plant-based dessert, it is my mother, and she tried it, and I think she liked it.
Yeah, it was pretty good. I mean, you're right, the melty chocolate, I love that part, and it's dark chocolate, so I like that. And that the cookie was fine. It was nice and soft. I didn't think the cream was. If you eat it all together, I don't think you can tell.
Next up, we're heading just across Hourglass Lake to hit up Art of Animation. Here at Art, we not only have some new sweets, but we also have some new savory food, including a savory food that I was very shocked to see. When I was looking through the new menus online, nothing came up about a savory pastry, but when I saw this in the display case, I knew I had to grab it. This is a chive and onion pastry covered in everything bagel seasoning. This looks like it's on some type of a puff pastry here, and I am a big fan of everything bagels, and especially everything bagels with a scallion cream cheese, and that's what this is reminding me a lot of. I don't think Disney has ever really broken into the savory pastry game, but I'm happy to see this. Let's try it out. The everything bagel flavoring is great. I'm a big fan of the amount of seeds on here, but the pastry itself tastes a little bit old. Usually when you get puff pastry, it's nice and light and flaky and kind of crusty. It falls apart nicely. But it was really hard to kind of take a bite of this. Now, in that first bite, I didn't get any of that cream cheese spread from the center, which is actually very hard and crumbly itself. It's not very nice and creamy, actually. So I want to kind of put some over here so I could try a bite with that as well. That is really good with that cream cheese spread. The cream cheese is so seasoned with those green onions. It's very garlicky. It almost tastes like Boursin cheese, honestly. It's really delicious. But the way to go is definitely to get a knife and kind of spread that throughout the pastry here, because that spread is really good. I think the case with our pastry that we got is that it was probably out for breakfast, and now it's getting a little bit later on into the afternoon, so it's probably been sitting around for a while. So that's why our pastry isn't super fresh, but I can tell if you get this fresh and probably in the morning, that would be phenomenal, because I already love the flavor here. I think it's really good, and I would definitely get that for breakfast. You know, get that grab and go, take on the bus. It's actually very messy. Maybe don't take it on the bus. The seeds go everywhere. But man, that's a great light bite. I am more of a savory person. I really only eat these sweets for these videos. But if I'm just here in the morning grabbing breakfast, a savory pastry, that is something I would go for.
So as you know, we're from New Jersey and we get really good bagels. So I would not eat bagels here. But this is kind of like you get the bagel flavor from the everything seasoning. I guess they agree with me.
What she's trying to say is if you're in the mood for a bagel,
yes,
get this instead of an actual bagel. Continuing with the savory, we're about to dig into this ramen noodle bowl with beef and chicken. This has fresh vegetables and soft-boiled egg in a miso broth for $15.49. Now, it's pretty funny. It says fresh vegetables, yet on top there are dried mushrooms. But the rest is filled with fresh vegetables, so I'll give them that. Now, it does seem like you're able to order just beef or just chicken in this ramen if you'd like. You could kind of just choose one. I'm not sure if it's any cheaper or not, but they did give me that option. I decided to go with both as it is on the menu. And who remembers Ramen Gate? When they introduced ramen at Coronado Springs, everyone went crazy. And apparently it really wasn't good, because everyone's like, why are they having ramen at Coronado Springs Resort? It didn't really make much sense. And it honestly doesn't make much sense to have it here at Art of Animation either. But I'm happy to see something new and interesting and different than like your usual chicken and burgers and pizza and that kind of thing. And it's definitely different. Now, I was just digging through this ramen and it actually looks quite tasty. It looks really good. And there's a ton of stuff in here. This packaging is actually great packaging on their end. It's in a little to-go bowl. So this would be nice to take to the room, although I don't know how much you're gonna want this after like walking around the parks in the heat all day, but it looks very good. I wanna try this broth here first. It says a miso broth. Very heavy on the ginger flavor. But overall, a lot more flavorful than I expected. I expected it to just taste like plain old chicken broth. So if I'm being honest, this chicken doesn't look great. It looks like previously frozen grilled chicken that's kind of been tossed in here. I think that's definitely what it is, but it at least tastes fresh. I was worried about it being like weird pieces of chicken, because you know how sometimes frozen chicken is a little weird? It's actually not like that, so it's actually fine. We've got our beef. I actually think I like the chicken a little bit more. It's like super well done and a little bit tough. But we still haven't tried the noodles yet, which is probably the most important part of this ramen. Noodles are nicely cooked, nice and chewy, and I got a couple bites with some fresh cilantro in there, and that added a really great brightness. I think there's a ton of stuff loaded into this bowl, so it's actually a pretty good value. There's a good amount of meat, a good amount of noodles, a great amount of vegetables in here, actually. So it's a really good, well-rounded meal. Is it the best ramen I've ever had? Absolutely not. If you want the best ramen in Orlando, go to Domu. The Richie Rich ramen, the best I've ever had. But for it being, it tastes like a value resort ramen. Honestly, it tastes like what you would expect to get here. So it's not bad, but I would not like crave this or go out of my way for it. Our next entree is the Southwest Chicken Bowl. This has rice, roasted corn, pico, pickled red onions, cotija, and avocado crema for $13.29. I'm really surprised that these resorts are just now getting some type of Chipotle copycat bowl. You know, they have it on the cruise line and it's so popular, everyone loves it. So I feel like it was only a matter of time before they brought a version of it here. It does look similar. Some of the stuff looks similar, like the corn, but the meat definitely looks a little bit different. And honestly, very old and not so great. Actually, I think it's the same chicken that's in our ramen. That is so dry. That avocado crema is totally necessary in this situation, and it's actually very tasty. I got a bite of the pork, and I think the pork is a lot better than the chicken. So I think this is the same kind of situation as the ramen, where if you wanted all pork or all chicken, you can do that. I heard the person behind me ask, and that's definitely what I would do if I were to get this again. I'd get all pork instead of pork and chicken here. The pork is so much better. The cotija adds a nice saltiness, and overall, I think this is pretty good. Is it anything as good as you're going to get at Chipotle or even on the cruise line? Probably not. But again, it's something that's different and not just your basic quick service food. So I enjoy this one. I think I might like it a little bit more than the ramen too. Okay, final food at Art is the first croissant of the day, the chocolate marshmallow hazelnut croissant. This has chocolate hazelnut ganache, toasted marshmallow, and graham cracker pieces for $6.49. You know, it's funny because I feel like I've been having so many s'mores desserts lately, and every time I say there's usually not enough graham cracker. In this instance, this is a somewhat s'mores dessert, but they don't call it s'mores, so I won't be mad if there's not enough graham cracker, and I could already tell you, there wouldn't be enough graham cracker for me if they were calling this s'mores. But I want to cut this in half here and see what the cross section is looking like. I've seen some of my friends get this, and it looks like there's so much filling. I think ours is the same. Oh, actually, we don't have a lot of filling, but honestly, I think I prefer that because I want to be able to taste the croissant too. If there was too much filling, it might be a little too sweet, but I think we lucked out with a not too filled one. I don't hate that, and I also don't love it. The filling just tastes like straight up Nutella, so it is totally a case of we lucked out with a pastry that isn't too filled, because like I said, I've seen my friends' videos of this croissant, and it is just loaded with so much filling, and I think if there was much more than what we got, I'd actually be sick. It would be way too much Nutella. The croissant is just your basic Disney quick service buffet croissant, so it's honestly not great, but I do like it a bit more when you get a bite with that meringue and the graham cracker on top. I definitely think it adds to it a lot, and it also helps with the richness of this chocolate. Now we do have two other croissants that we're going to be trying today, two other stuffed croissants that we're going to be trying today at the different resorts, and honestly this was one of the ones I was least excited for. And I don't think I would get it again. It's not like terrible or anything. If you're a big Nutella fan, you'll probably enjoy that. But I just don't think it's anything that I would feel the need to get again personally. All right, I'm bringing the sweets expert in for this one. What did you think, Mom?
I mean, I'm not the biggest Nutella fan, so I wasn't sure I was going to like this. I don't know if it really tastes like a s'more. It's supposed to be a s'more? Or what is it?
It's not called s'mores, so it's just chocolate hazelnut.
Oh. I mean, it was okay. It didn't have a lot inside. I ate just the marshmallow plain too, because there was marshmallow. It was okay. I love, my favorite stuffed croissant is the lemon meringue one that they had here, and I don't even like peanut butter, But I love the peanut butter and jelly croissant. But I'm anxious to try the other ones. I'm looking forward to the cookie butter one.
You do know they got rid of the lemon meringue and peanut butter and jelly croissant, right? To bring these new ones in?
I know. Well, they need to bring the other ones back because there's no way. I don't think anything's topping those.
I don't know. Cookie butter, I love. I'm excited for that one.
I'm really excited for the cookie butter one. I don't like what's the other, you said mocha? I don't like coffee, so I probably won't like that one.
Well,
we'll see.
Should we go get the cookie butter croissant?
Let's go get it.
Our next stop. Well, we have made it over to All Star Sports to try this cookie butter croissant, which is the food I am most excited to try today. But they don't only have one cookie butter dessert. They actually have 2 cookie butter desserts. Honestly, I love cookie butter so much. This could make All Star Sports my favorite resort. If these 2 are good, oh my gosh. I'm excited. Just like with the other one, we're gonna cut this one in half here. And the last one, I know I said I didn't want a lot of filling, so it would be too much and too rich. I love cookie butter so much that if there's a lot of cookie butter filling in here, that one's okay with me. I don't really see any. I think there's like marshmallow or some type of cream filling in here as well. It's flaky at least. You saw that flake fall off, but this side might have a little bit more. I still have high hopes for this one, despite the amount of cookie butter filling. So let's see how it is. That is absolutely amazing. There's no way we have another food today that is going to be as good as that croissant. It is, as a cookie butter lover, it's amazing. The croissant itself on this croissant tastes so much better than the last one. It tastes a lot fresher, a lot flakier, a lot more buttery. There's better layering in this croissant here. And then it's just stuffed with that incredible cookie butter filling. And in my side, it didn't look like there was a lot of that filling. But honestly, it was enough for me. I love those crunchy, crumbled up Biscoff cookies on top. It's also topped with some form of like buttercream or marshmallowy kind of frosting, and I think it pairs so well with the cookie butter. All right, Mom, what do we think? Is it better than the chocolate hazelnut croissant?
Without a doubt, definitely. But is it better than the lemon meringue?
Oh my gosh, no, yes.
No,
yes.
Absolutely not.
Yes, it is better. I also think it's better than the peanut butter and jelly.
I might give it over the peanut butter and jelly because I don't love peanut butter, which is why I wasn't crazy about the hazelnut one. But I do like lemon more than I like cookie butter.
Oh, I like lemon and cookie butter, but this cookie butter one takes the cake.
Obviously, I hated it.
Our final cookie butter dessert comes in the form of a cookie butter cheesecake. This cheesecake is topped with marshmallow buttercream and cookie pieces and available seasonally for $6.29. Okay, so the cookie butter croissant didn't come with any labels saying what was inside of it, but this does, and it says it's topped with a marshmallow buttercream and then those crushed up cookies as well. So this looks like the exact same thing that our croissant was topped with. So I was right. I said it tastes like a marshmallowy buttercream. Yeah. I guessed correctly, but man, I love a cheesecake too, so I feel like this cookie butter is gonna be so good in this. It's nice and soft. This has way more of a lighter cookie butter flavor. It's not as like overpoweringly cookie butter as the croissant is. The cheesecake is nice and soft and good. I can't tell if there's any cookie butter in the actual cheesecake itself, though. I tried a bite of just the cheesecake without the crust on the bottom and the topping, and it tastes just like regular cheesecake. If there's any cookie butter in there, it's like the slightest amount. But most of that cookie butter flavor is coming from the crust on the bottom, which is actually a great idea. Mom, when you make cheesecake, you should do a little cookie butter crust. Yeah, that would be, I mean, I'm saying that would be so good. It is so good because we're eating it right here. That's tasty as well. I just wish there was like a little more cookie butter flavor, personally, because I love cookie butter. But if I had to choose one of these cookie butter desserts, you know I'm going with that croissant any day of the week. I know we kind of did this backwards, but now we're going back to our savory thing that I got from All Star Sports, the plant-based Greek-style pita. This has impossible beef, hummus, lettuce, tomato, pickled onion, and plant-based tzatziki for $13.29. You can find this pita in the grab-and-go section where most of the other sandwiches and salads and things of that nature are. And I do kind of wish they were making this fresh because it looks like it might be a little bit soggy, but the impossible beef looks pretty good. It looks like they might have dusted some type of seasoning, or it looks like honestly like harissa on there. So maybe it'll give it a little spice, but they've already got the hummus on there. Oh, I almost forgot. our plant-based tzatziki. I love tzatziki sauce. We gotta go for a dunk in this for sure. Now we got the whole thing right here. That is actually really quite good. All the vegetables in there give it a nice crispness. I love the cucumbers. The hummus is great. The tzatziki is great. And it all kind of pairs together really nicely. I know I said it looked like there was some harissa or something on the Impossible beef, but there's definitely no spice at all. I actually wish there was. I might go up and grab some hot sauce because I feel like that would be really good on here. But for a plant-based dish, I like it. Now here's the thing. This does cost over $13 for just a plant-based pita sandwich. Pretty much a pita with a couple of vegetables and a couple of strips of Impossible meat. And they're not even making it fresh. If they were making it fresh, I think it would help a lot because the hummus and the beef in there makes the pita a little bit soggy. If they were putting this together fresh, it would not only taste better, but it would come with fries or some type of side for that price, because I feel like $13 for a pre-made sandwich that's just sitting in a cooler is a bit much, especially since it doesn't come with a bag of chips, nothing, no side. So that's really, really quite expensive. But I have to say, it's good, I enjoy it, and if it was a little bit cheaper, I would get it again. Now there was one other thing I wanted to try from this food court here. At all the All-Star resorts, they just added chicken wings to the menu. I believe they have lemon pepper, teriyaki, and classic buffalo flavored wings, but I don't think they come out until dinner and we're here a little too early for that, so I think we're gonna miss them. But if anyone's had them yet, let me know how they are. Over to All-Star Music we go for another savory item and our final croissant of the trip. The first thing I want to try here is this hot honey crispy chicken sandwich with arugula, house-made pickles, and onions for $12.49. Besides the fact that I love hot honey, one of the main reasons I wanted to order this sandwich here was because of the bun. The bun is not like any other bun that they have around Disney World. It honestly looks like the Ohana pineapple coconut bread, just in a smaller version, and it looks really good. However, when I picked it up, the bottom, I don't know if you could tell, it is either soaked in honey or oil. It is so wet and soggy and kind of gross feeling, so I don't know how that's gonna go, but from the top, the bun looks really good. Disney likes to do this thing where they say they're putting hot honey on something and it tastes like regular plain old honey, and I feel like that's the situation here. This sandwich is so sweet from the sheer amount of honey on here. There is far too much, but also, this is the Ohana pineapple coconut bread. It's a sweet roll and it tastes exactly like the Ohana one. If it's not, I would be surprised because it tastes nearly identical. But since there's so much honey, it's having a hard time holding up on the bottom of that bun there. I think I got maybe like 4 to 5 leaves of arugula. I could definitely use more, but the pickled red onion and the pickles on here are fantastic. The chicken is also different from your typical Disney chicken sandwich patty, and it's really good and crispy. I think Disney needs to get a hold of Mike's Hot Honey because whatever brand of hot honey they're using just is not hot, and it's honestly not great because they did the same thing with the flatbread from over at Baseline. If this was coated in a normal amount of Mike's Hot Honey, this would be fantastic. As it is, it's still pretty good, but a little bit of room for improvement. For our sweet treat, we have this mocha croissant, which has an espresso cream and a chocolate ganache for $6.49. I'm curious to see how this one is gonna stack up. We once again have to cut it in half. This croissant looks and feels stale. Similar to the hazelnut one, the cookie butter one we had, the croissant was just so perfect. But here, oh my gosh. There is so much filling in here. This is going to be a lot. That coffee cream in there is so sweet. It's almost so sweet. It has a little bit of a tang to it. And I don't know if that's coming because they're using Joffrey's coffee, which is a little bit sour and has a weird tang to it, or what. Maybe it's some type of cream cheese coffee mousse, but I don't know. It has a little bit of a tang and there's way too much of it in here. I mean, this croissant is literally like 80 to 90% filling and 10 to 20% actual croissant. And I need a little bit of a better ratio there. It's super sweet. And I didn't even get a bite from the side of the croissant. with the chocolate because I already knew it looked super sweet and way too heavy. And yeah, this is just like way too heavy for me. I genuinely don't know if I could eat more than a bite of this. And like, I'm you know, it's just too much. Yeah, this is my least favorite of the three. The other two were good, with the cookie butter one being number one in the croissant wars. We have officially made it over to All-Star Movies for our final stop of the day. And side note, this food court is so cool. I don't think I've ever stepped foot in here before, but man, it's definitely the coolest food court of the three All-Stars. And here at All-Star Movies, we have two final desserts to try, both of which are looking very cool. And first, we have this Alien Blondie, which is a blondie with chocolate for $5.79. I'm not sure where the chocolate actually is, or if they just mean white chocolate, because I don't see any actual chocolate in here, but it does look very good. Look at the bottom. Let's try it out. The blondie itself just tastes like a super soft sugar cookie, and I like the blondie. My issue comes with the white chocolate that is on top. I have the same issue with this that I have with a lot of white chocolate that I try. It just tastes super waxy and adds like this artificial taste to the blondie, but like the actual blondie itself is good. I wish I could just take off the chocolate here, which I honestly might do, but it looks really cool, so at least there's that. I feel like they could have gotten that same green alien effect if they just used some green buttercream on here instead of that green white chocolate. I definitely think that would have been better. Our final treat of the day is gonna be this Sorcerer's Apprentice chocolate hat, which has chocolate cream and strawberry ganache for $6.49. And this dessert is really tiny for that price. When I read that out loud, I was like, no way, but yeah, this is pretty tiny. I want to see the inside here, so let's cut into our hats. No! It definitely feels very rich and chocolatey. I can barely slide the knife out. Oh! Where's the strawberry? I expected like some strawberry compote or something of that nature, but I don't really see any. It honestly just looks like chocolate mousse. Hopefully it has some type of strawberry flavor though. I don't know, we'll see. I definitely taste the slightest hint of extremely artificial strawberry in here. It does not taste fresh. And that chocolate also isn't great. It doesn't taste like a mousse. It's not like nice and soft. It honestly tastes like a cross between like fudge and mousse. Unfortunately, I fear this is one of those desserts at Disney that looks really cool, but just doesn't taste great. So we haven't had much luck here at All-Star Movies. I honestly wouldn't get either of these again. Well, that is gonna do it for us today, hanging out all around the value resorts. I definitely think after everything I tried today, I could say that these value resorts are upping their food game. We tried a lot of great stuff, especially that cookie butter croissant. I'm telling you, cookie butter fans, you guys have to go try that over at All-Star Sports. Thank you guys so much for checking out this video. Thank you to everyone over on Patreon. I really appreciate your support. As always, if you enjoy honest Disney food reviews, hit that subscribe button, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.